Hello, Darklings. So, someone recently-ish informed me that it's been a long time since I've done a home tour video, and a lot has changed because I believe the last time I did an apartment tour video, my roommate had just barely left and moved out, and she's been moved out for close to 3 years now, and I've properly, fully settled into my apartment. So, this building is about 100 years old. It is above a shop, and it's not far from my work, which is nice. I can afford to live here by myself. It's usually fairly quiet, and I get to have a place where my landlady doesn't really care what I do. So this is my main bureau area where I keep my makeup, which there is entirely too much of, if I'm being honest. Way too much of, including my little lipstick carousel, most of which is Sugar Pill and Black Moon Cosmetics. Little chest filled with perfume. A lamp I found at a tag sale for $5. Got Owlmobile, David Bowie. Got a bobblehead of Lon Chaney, an old parrot my mom had in the 80s. A curio shelf I've had for entirely too long, probably. Filled with like dragons and fairies, which is funny because I don't collect dragons and fairies, but no one else knows that, and so they kept giving them to me, so apparently now I collect dragons and fairies. Got Veronica Varlow and Amanda Palmer. Got Darkness from Legend, even though he's a little hard to see. Misfits, that was a present from my brother. A bed I have had since I was 11 because I hate throwing anything away, ever. The Beauty and the Beast coverlets from Hot Topic and the Ouija blanket, which is fleece and very soft, was a gift. Green Man tapestry I found on Amazon years ago when I was in college. I have a lot of clothing storage because I don't have a lot of room for clothes. I mean, I have several boxes under the bed filled with clothes. I have this thing that's entirely filled with scarves. It's kind of dark in here, so it's not ideal for showing all the details. This is all jewelry up in here, including from this chain all through there. If you can see back in there, there's several jewelry racks over there. Tapestry I take pictures in front of. My closet is that big, and because most of my clothes are black, it's kind of hard to discern, but it's very, very full. I have shoes on the bottom and I have shoes on the top. I have a little shadow box filled with Polaroids with one of my friends. This is like the full-length outfit mirror. I found a dress form at the antique mall that I frequent, and sometimes it's fun for planning outfits on. We have this giant Fright Night poster, so Colin Farrell's eyes can stare at me, which is creepy, but it was a free giant Fright Night poster, which is crucial. Iggy and the Stooges poster. Also got a Peter Murphy poster. My mother's the one who gave me this light switch cover, which is hilarious. And this is where we start getting all kinds of crazy stuff. Got an otter skull with a tiny, tiny beetle friend in front of it. More curio cabinets. I have so many curio cabinets, it's actually kind of embarrassing. Got Mr. Gosh from Lenore. Got a skull. I made this little dome with the trick-or-treat scene when I was like 12. Special sainthood candles. Little funny hearse. And this is one bookcase, entirely of pretty much fairy tales and half a shelf of Ray Bradbury. But fairy tales and fairy tale inspired stuff belongs on the kitchen bookcase for whatever reason. Also featuring a fake plant, a big chunk of amethyst, and some laminated leaves in a little silver dish I found. We have dragons everywhere. The scent. I just have stuff everywhere. I don't have a lot of room. Like I have this National Geographic map that is so out of date. Yugoslavia and West and East Germany are still on it. Little wood burn and painted Laura Palmer I did. This is my office. So Tower Theater is where I see a lot of really fun movies every year, and I've been going there for 8 years for their summer late night series, and so I have all the little things that show all the things that I've been to. Here's another bookcase. This is bookcase number 2. Trying to keep like updated on book show and tells is an impossibility because I have over 1,200 books because I'm obsessed with books. The Neil Gaiman gets its own shelf, and so does the comics. I have one proper shelf of comics because I don't read comics very much. My first ever tarantula that I got, Drusilla, ended up dying about a year before I filmed this, and I got her taxidermied by a local place. So up here we have apparently high school yearbooks, which my mother insisted I keep, and then these are all of my sketchbooks since 2012. Here are all my witchy-ish books. We got a snake in here. It's dead, unfortunately. It's got some dead bats in here too. Snake shed from one of my snakes, a raccoon skull and a bee-eater skull. A couple cat skulls, although they're kind of hard to see. A jackrabbit skull, a monitor skull, a mongoose skull, and a stuffed bear I've had since I was a kid. Oil painting I did a little while ago. These are my witchy shit. This is my witchy shit over here, like the herbs, which are alphabetized and labeled. It's really difficult to see, but most of them I got secondhand from my friend Cinnamon. Added to my own collection so that I relabeled and resorted everything, and she kept them alphabetized, so I kept them alphabetized too. On top of that, there's other just office shit, so paperwork and less interesting, exciting things. Got some of my art doll creations up in here. We've got a troll, we've got a little grasshopper dude, we got a puka. Some more art. I have art everywhere. I have, I don't know, close to 80 paintings in my apartment that I've done. Got this Iggy Pop statuette for no reason aside from drunk 3 a.m. eBay shopping in college. Some tintypes just because they're neat. Prince Nuada from Hellboy 2 for no apparent reason. A rather embarrassing picture of my mother holding me as a very fat baby. Some teeth. A Jareth the Goblin King doll I made several years ago, right before David died. Little tiny cabinet filled with, actually not really anything interesting. Yeah, we got art all over the place. Got this light up tree at Michael's several years ago. I have this thingy, and it's literally just filled with crystals, which you can't see because they don't show up. Got skulls, got Polaroids, tons of Polaroids from the last couple of years. These little ones over here are from my trip to Europe with my best friend. We're planning another trip to Scotland, so this is a map showing all the places I've been. The red pins are places I've been, and the green pins are places I want to go. But my dad gave me this map as a present when I was about 14. More paintings, more paintings. I got a snake in there. He's a Mexican black king snake. His name is Havelock. I got him when I was just finishing my obsessive reading of Discworld. So here's bookcase number 3. Top shelf, I think, is... I have no idea. I can't read those from here. Anyway, second shelf is Shauna Maguire, third shelf is Jim Butcher, and the bottom shelf, which is deeply crowded and probably not super visible, is all Terry Pratchett. I still have my piratology, mythology, Egyptology, wizardology, and dragonology books because I have no chill and I don't care. Here's bookcase number 3. We mostly got a lot of Stephen King, some classic horror, Michael Crichton, Clive Barker. I don't know, it's kind of an eclectic mix. For some reason, I was given a ferret, a stuffed ferret. I used to have ferrets when I was a kid, or teenager, but I don't have them anymore. I also have a super fuzzy spider that's difficult to see. And a very gregarious spider plant, or 2 of them, which this is the magic window apparently because they grow like crazy. Got jewelry I sell, some Egyptian god statues. More nonsense things, some dried flowers. This is a thing that I take outfits in front of. Oh, here's my other snake's tank, my sand boa, my Kenyan sand boa. So her name's Astrid, and the little lad over in there is Havelock, and they're both very cute and not very big, although pretty soon Astrid's going to need a bigger tank. I have tons and tons and tons of movie posters. Most of these are from the Tower Theater, which I already mentioned. I do not have a super attractive apartment. The previous tenants didn't take very good care of it, and the remodel was a little bit questionable. But, so I've got lots of movie posters from the Tower. I tried to kind of dress up and hide the fact that this is not a beautiful apartment. This is made by a local artist, a little shrunken head dude. My very unattractive fridge. A gargoyle that was sent to me. A dragon I've had since I was a kid. I hate overhead lights. I cannot stand overhead lights, so I have tons of string lights everywhere. I have these very fun mushroom jars for flour and sugar and stuff. And these plants are quite happy to be up here too. Unfortunately for me, the door to this fell off, and it's just and this entire cabinet is filled with just tea. Got some Matryoshka dolls that my mom brought back from Russia, I think in the 80s or 90s, I don't even know. Comic. So like I said, my art is all over the place. More movie posters. I also am a big fan of the Llewellyn's Witch calendar, so I have that. Hello. Tiny, tiny mirror for last minute makeup checks mostly. Or telling if sunglasses fit my face. More movie posters. What do you know? More movie posters. And we got some dead things in here. Got some bird skulls, rat skulls. Records. I love records. I do not have Spotify. I don't understand Spotify. I don't use Pandora. I listen primarily to records and then whatever is on shuffle on my iPod at work. But this is a Victrola record player that also plays CDs, cassettes, which I don't care for, and can do Bluetooth if I really want to listen to something off of that. Then I have art supplies down here. So I got watercolors. I've got stuff to do wood burnings on. I got my jewelry supplies. I got clay supplies. I have lots and lots of compartments for art things. I think this is bookcase, what did I say? This would be number 5. So we got some Donna Tartt. We've got some, I don't even know everything that's in here. We got Sandman Slim. We've got Caitlin R. Kiernan. And we've got a whole shelf of Anne Rice, that crazy bitch. And we have a bunch of anthology books. And we got a bunch of my art sitting on here, including some art dolls. We've got this awesome Goblin poster from when I saw them again, signed by Claudio Simonetti. I don't know if anybody who watches my videos is a fan of Giallo, but I also love lamps that have tacky porcelain figures at the base. I'm obsessed with them. This is a Montauk skull. He's a very handsome little fella. We also got a fox skull in here. This is something from Trollcatcher. And a Baba Yaga house I made, and a weird candle I found at the DI, which is kind of like Utah's version of Goodwill. I have had that skeleton since I was like 9, and I just never got rid of it. A cell from the Hunger, more art of mine. More movie posters, miracle, miracles. Because I might possibly like movies, because I want to say there's around 12 or 1,300 movies in here. It's actually ridiculous. And we got a ton more movie posters. There's back to the kitchen. The kitchen's more of a hallway than a kitchen. This would be bookcase number 6, I think. That sounds right. Anyway, this one's more like a reference type of stuff. So I got some movie related and vampire related stuff up here. We just got like the big coffee table books, got their own shelf. I have a lot of stuff about like musicians. These are a lot of like biographies and autobiographies. This has mostly to do with film. This is mostly Brian Froud and a handful of other things. Got more storage for art supplies. Surprise. Got a bunch of like YA fiction and a bunch of Charles DeLint, and got a shelf for poetry. So I guess that's bookcase number 7. I'm bad at counting sometimes. I've had that container forever. It's filled with paints and markers and random drawing surfaces. I ran out of room so badly with my bookcases, I've had to be a little bit creative. And if you hear a weird creaking sound, it's just my knees. Holly Black gets her own shelf. These are the more children's literature on the bottom. These little elf troll friends that my mom found, I believe in Argentina, are what inspired me to start doing the art doll thing. So I don't know how much of this is actually visible because I decided to film this in the afternoon. So I don't know if I can properly fully capture the whole movie shelf thing. Like I said, there's a couple thousand probably in here. I have a complete list. I'm obsessive about keeping track of things on my Letterboxd, which I always have in the link in the description. My cozy leather couch. So you can see pretty much my whole living room, dining room mystery setup. Got a bunch of Arthur Rackham prints hanging on the door to my bathroom, which is just like a normal bathroom, so isn't terribly interesting to show. Got my Pan's Labyrinth poster, because that movie can never get old. I have art like just hidden in like the weirdest places. This is the first art doll I ever made. This is my little Troll King with some friends I found very, very inexpensively. Again, like I said, I like figurines that have cool bases. Or figurine lamps. The last video I did, I believe I still had my brick TV that I'd had for close to 14 years before I finally got rid of it. Enough people bothered me, I ended up getting a Roku TV, which, seeing as I make movies, or watch movies literally every day, it makes sense. Got a bobcat skull. Got a bust of a lady that I made. Got some miniatures that I've done. Little room. Alright, and we got some tarantula molts over here because I'm an obsessive weird spider mom. I think the only one that'll be easy to see is this little baby that I haven't actually named. They're a metallic pink toe. I don't know if they're male or female. I haven't checked. But otherwise, I have 7 spiders. And I mostly just kind of let them do their spider thing and just hang out. They're not very big. None of them are adult size. Not even the one in the big container. So I guess this is bookcase number 9. Got a lot of horror related stuff. So we got some Bram, Poppy Z. Bride, Guillermo del Toro. We got some random classics that also includes Lord of the Rings. We got a bunch of Margaret Atwood, Catherine M. Valente, and Russian literature. And some classics down on the bottom. And for bookcase number 10, we've got a series of unfortunate events and some Richard Lehman and some Kim Harrisons that I don't know if I'll ever read, and some V.E. Schwab. Got some Maggie Stiefvater and Cornelia Funk. Got some random stuff that has to do with vampires and probably Dracula and more vampire stuff. Anyway, I have a very eclectic, weird apartment that I've lived in for 3.5 years, and I really like being able to live on my own. This is a bit of a lengthy tour for a place that's not super big. But anyway, hopefully it is entertaining. Most of my furniture is secondhand or I've had forever. I like to keep everything as neat as I can because I hate messiness. I like being able to find things. But I also like very old eclectic decorating styles. Till next time, Darklings.